Let's go to our next sense, our sense of smell. We use our nose to smell things. Oh, one day I picked one of those daffodils and I cut several of them actually and brought them inside. And as I was walking inside, I was smelling those flowers. Yes, and then I put them in a jar full of water. Oh, I know what else. After it rains and I've gone outside, I smell that wet soil. Wet soil, which is good because that's helping those plants wake up and start to bloom. Smell. What else do I smell? Oh, the air smells different. It's a fresh air, and on those days, I open my windows and I let that fresh air come into the house. Fresh air. And boy, I wish you were here to help me because you all always have great ideas. Oh, I'm thinking about back here. I see people mowing their grass. So I'm gonna say I smell cut grass. Cut grass. I kind of like that smell. Cut grass. All right, so we've talked about our sense of hearing. We use our ears, our sense of seeing, where we use our eyes, our sense of smell. Let's go over and think about some things that we can taste. The taste of springtime. Oh, I know. One thing that reminds me, and I have eaten many of these, are the jelly beans. Remember, jelly beans are something you probably got in your Easter basket. And Easter is in the season of spring. So jelly beans, I'm thinking, oh, I know, since we've been home, we've been doing the barbecue. And I'm just gonna write BQ, just a short. Griffin and I have been barbecuing some hamburgers and some chicken. So I love when I can smell people barbecuing. And something else Griffin and I have been enjoying this springtime already is ice cream. We will go to the Spotted Cow here in Adrian and get us some ice cream. Taste. I don't know. Can I think of something else we can taste in the springtime? Oh, I wish you were here to help me. I'm going to leave that one blank, and I'm going to go down here to the way spring feels. Now, some days, remember, it does feel like winter. It's cold, but most times in the spring, we can feel the temperature change. The temperature feels warm outside. We can take our coats off and feel that warm sun on our arms. But then there are other days that maybe we can feel the wind. It gets a little windy, and which is a good time to fly a kite in the springtime on a windy day. All right, so we used our 5 senses of spring to hear things like birds and frogs and kids playing and the rain tapping against our windows. Things we see with our eyes in the spring are flowers and tree buds and even some worms and people outside. Things we smell in the springtime are those flowers, the wet soil, fresh air, and cut grass. And taste. This is a little bit harder for Mrs. Dempsey. Jelly beans, barbecue, ice cream. We left one blank. Maybe you're shouting that out for me and we can put it there. And the way spring feels, we can feel the warm and the wind on some days. So good job, boys and girls. Now I want you to take your own spring walk. And before you go outside, I wish you had if you have a clipboard. If not, just use one of your books. And I want you to copy down these 5 sentences. Wake up spring senses. And I want you to write on a piece of paper, I hear, and then leave it blank. I see, and leave it blank. I smell, and leave it blank. I taste, leave it blank. And I feel, and leave it blank. When you have your sentences copied, then I want you to go outside and fill in your sentences with something you hear, something you see, something you smell, something you taste, something you feel. So mine might be this. I'm walking around my yard. I hear birds. So I'm going to fill in my sentence with the word birds. Okay. Then I'm going to go to my next sentence. I see yellow daffodils. Yellow daffodils. I know when I see yellow daffodils, it's springtime. I smell. Right now, I smell wet soil. I taste. I do love my jelly beans. So I'm going to write jelly beans. Maybe it's something outside. And something in the springtime. I feel the warm. Whoops, I almost made my R too big. Warm sun. All right, boys and girls. When you finish your stories, have your mom send your teacher, Mrs. Parker's, Mrs. Lucy, or I, your finished story. And down here, if you want, you could draw a great picture of springtime. Maybe some of those daffodils with a big springtime sun. Yes, not those silly snowflakes sometimes we see. Draw a picture and have your moms send that to us so we can see your springtime story. Good job, boys and girls. I'll see you next week for another science lesson.